So hello guys. First of all, I would like that you people start taking care of your life, and life is more important than education. So start caring about your life, take precautionary measures against all sorts of viruses including COVID-19. Regarding your course Fundamentals of Criminology, I have taught so many things already. So I would review a bit about whatsoever I have taught. So I would start with basics of crime, causes of crime, and then I would talk about one theory, that is social bonding theory. Starting with crime, crime can be defined as any violation of law of the land. Any violation of law of the land. Students who are confused, who are not clear about things, they should develop their background, they should develop their foundation, they should start developing definitions, they should make themselves clear about the concepts which are the basis and foundation of this fundamentals of criminology. And why this course is called Fundamentals of Criminology? We are going to talk about the basics, the foundations and foundation elements which are underlying this subject. We should know what crime we are talking. Crime is a general term, is a general sense. It includes so many violations. So when we talk about crime, crime can be defined in different ways, and in different states and countries, they have different legal system and they define crime in a different way. But here in our country, we define crime as violation of the criminal law. Violation of the criminal law. So any criminal conduct, any violative conduct, any violative act can be defined as crime or criminal violation. So going further, crimes can be classified: crime against person, and crime against person or crimes against person involves all types of crimes which are based on injuries, harms to an individual or group of individuals. So when we talk about crime against person, it includes so many crimes which are basically injuries and harms, attacks, and maybe psychological attacks, but they are of tangible nature, tangible harmful nature. Crime against person may include beating someone, injuring someone, critically injuring someone, killing an individual, hurting an individual, hurting group of individuals, killing or hurting a tribe, a community. So it starts from sort of injuries, harms against individual, and to the critical level it can go to murder. Again, there are crimes which are based on actions which are well calculated, well thought out, intentions, and there are crimes or negligences which involve violations but they are not pre-calculated. So crime against person again may be child abuse, domestic violence, and sort of a beating, battered woman syndrome, murder, individual harassment, maybe social harassment. These are the types of crime against person. And when we go further, we reach to the crime against property. So crime against property may be defined as any crime or crimes which involve violations or violation related to property. Somebody's property is to be illegally, unlawfully taken away by documents, by forgery, by fraud, by deception. So again, and this may involve so many crimes, a wide range of crimes. We are not basically focused now to discuss various crimes. We are going to talk about the basics, the basic foundation of crime, basic concepts of crime. We are not going for specialization at this stage. We are talking about basic concepts related to crime, criminology, causes of crime, criminal justice system, and some theories of crime. We need not to go in so much depth about these concepts, but we need to know a bit about each concept. Crimes against property, robbery, arson, and like theft, burglary, and just putting, and maybe other examples. Crime against property is very important here in our country, and you can critically see it, you can analyze it from perspectives where you are living. Suppose you are living in an urban area or you are living in a village. So the crimes which are taking place or which are being observed in rural areas, they may be different, and crimes which are taking place in urban areas may be different. So again, we need to know which crimes are taking place in rural areas and which crimes are taking place in urban areas. So the crimes related to property may be robbery, dacoity, and theft, arson, burglary. These are the crimes which are crimes related to property. And there are public order crimes, crimes which are involving public health, public morality, and roads and pathways, because it is the prime duty of police and other civic agencies. They should maintain law and order, and they should not allow any sort of blockage to the flow of the traffic. So again, public order crimes, they are related to public health, morality, and flow of the traffic, and public decency and morality. Again, this is very important to understand this. Coming to criminology, criminology can be defined as the scientific study of crime, causes of crime, prevention and control of crime. So, understanding crime, understanding classification of crime, classification of criminals, psyche or nature of the criminals, understanding profiles of criminals. Again, we are dealing with lot of subject matter, that is criminology. We are defining criminology as a scientific inquiry, scientific study in which we are going to study crime, criminals, causes of crime, patterns of crime, classification of crime and criminals, and prevention, control, reformation and rehabilitation of criminals. So again, a wide range of subjects and subject matters, they are to be studied in criminology. And how Sutherland defined it: study of making of laws, study of breaking of laws, and reaction towards breaking of laws. Study of making of laws, why the parliaments are going to pass laws, which laws are beneficial for society, how laws to be utilized, what is the role of law enforcement agencies in enforcing laws, what is the utility of laws. So, are the laws being made to prevent crime? These are the questions which are being addressed, and so we being criminologists are the people who are studying criminology and crime. They are more concerned about making of laws. And fundamentally, we are talking about breaking of laws. We are studying, we are conducting research, we are investigating crime, its patterns, its different manifestations, its different forms. Again, very important to know breaking of law. And last is the reaction towards breaking of laws. We people and law enforcement agencies and the educated people who are criminologists, we are going to study the causes, patterns of breaking of laws and reaction of police and other agencies towards breaking of laws. These are the basics of crime and criminology. So now criminology and crime should be clear. These are the basic things, they must be clear in your mind. And again, I would give a sort of a separate lecture about the classification of crime and classification of criminals. That is also very important. I would give a separate lecture on classification of crime and classification of criminals. That is very important subject matter that we should deal. Coming to the criminal justice system. You people being students, you need to be clear about criminal justice system. If we define criminal justice system is can be defined as group of components, group of organs or wings of government, and their main work is prevention and control of crime. So the group of organs, law enforcement agencies, courts, prisons, reform centers, rehabilitation centers, their core work is prevention and control of crime. And regarding what are the objectives of our criminal justice system. So criminal justice system is defined as group of organs. Number one is police, operational police, and within operational police or separately we have investigative police. And what is the role of police? Enforcement of law, protection of society, protection of common people, enforcement of law, protection of property, life, and morality of the people, safety of the people. That is the main work of the police. Court, second organ is court, criminal court. The role of criminal court is to run the cases where complaints of criminal nature they are brought, and on the basis of evidences, scientific analysis and judicial discretion and judgment, the cases are to be decided by the judges on the basis of truth. Things are being cleared, concluded, solved, and reaching to the level of prison. Prison can be defined as a larger correctional institution, and its aim is to give protection to society by arresting, by incarcerating the offenders, and the offenders they are put behind the bars, they are limited to cells so that the outer society, free society, should be safe. The criminals, they have their own human rights, they have their own legal rights, their cases are to be tried, and on the basis of the truth, they are to be judged either innocent or guilty. Within the prison, the duty of prison institution is to reform, to punish the individual, to incarcerate, and to reform the offenders. And reformation, rehabilitation, again, lengthy process, very different concept. It requires a further sort of a lecture how the offenders are to be reformed by the institution, how they are to be rehabilitated. And in my past classes, I have been talking about these things, but I can conduct sort of a new class regarding this. If we define criminal justice, again repeating, that is a group of organs, government, system, a network, a system or network well connected, and their work is prevention and control of crime, reformation and rehabilitation of offenders. So reaching to the level of reformation, rehabilitation, and again within the prison we may be having a separate section of women prisoners, and we may be having a separate section of juvenile offenders. And juvenile justice system may look separate and distinct, but here in our country, juvenile justice system is developing, evolving, it is not fully established. So it is going to work within the prison system. Regarding our attitude of police, attitude of the court and prison system, its criticism, analysis, we can have a different class. So basically, you people need to be clear now about criminal justice today. Criminal justice, what is criminal justice? What are the main objectives of criminal justice? Criminal justice, a group of organs are networked by government, departments of different system, police, court and prison, and their main work is prevention and control of crime. And what are the objectives of criminal justice system? The objectives of criminal justice system is to provide justice to the criminals as well as to the victims or victims' families. The role of criminal justice is to prevent and control crime. What is prevention of crime then? The law enforcement agencies, they are going to take, or they are going to plan, or they are going to take preventive steps, proactive steps, by reason of which crime is to be defeated, crime would not occur. This is prevention of crime. Crime should not occur. It is to be controlled. It is to be proactively denied. And what is prevention? What is control of crime then? If crime is taking place, a wave of crime, when we are going to reduce it, we are going to minimize it, we are going to decrease it, it means we are controlling crime. And when we are failing, it means we are not controlling crime. This is prevention and control of crime. So criminal justice and its goals, prevention and control of crime, safety of people, safety of the public, lessening fear of crime from the public. These are the goals. People should feel safe. Their property should be secure and safe. There should not be violations of public nature. There should not be violations of public morality. People, health, morality, flow of the highways, flows of the pathways, they should be open. People should not be harmed. And again, social ecology and environment should be clean so that people should not be harmed in any way. This is a sort of a wider scope of the goals of criminal justice system. Lastly, we come to the Travis Hirsch's social bonding theory. If we talk about social bonding theory, it has four elements or key components. First is attachment, second is commitment, third is involvement, and fourth is belief. This theory is very important to understand crime and criminal behavior in our country, because there are different reasons why crime is happening in our country, but there are some crimes which can be explained, which can be understood in purview of this social bonding theory. This theory assumes that an individual who is attached to the positive characters like father, mother, teacher, or religious tutor, he or she is less likely to involve in criminal violations. Individual developing bond with father, mother, family values, moral values, then that individual is less likely to involve in criminal violations or delinquent violations. And those individuals, those teens, those youngsters who fail to develop psychological inner bonds with their father, with teachers and other role models, there's more chances and likelihood that that individual is going to involve in delinquency or crime. So attachment is first step where the individual is going to attach himself or herself to the characters, and this is the first stage. And then starts the commitment. Commitment again is a second step where the individual goes further and emotionally connected to the individuals who are positive, like father, mother, teachers, religious teachers, and the characters which are perceived as leading characters. They are to be sort of copied or modeled by the youth. And individuals develop a commitment, sort of a pledge to these characters. And this commitment and pledge is going to prevent commission of crime or delinquency within that individual. Involvement means this is a sort of a step forward where the individual is going to involve in the social values, moral values which are positive, which are liked by that individual, and by further involvement in these values, the individual psyche commitment is more cemented. The individual is more now committed to go there and involved psychologically and physically, not to commit any crime or delinquency. And fourth step is belief. The individual comes to that level where he or she is in full belief in religious concept, or sort of a full firmness, self-belief that he or she is going to like, going to be involved, going to be attached, and carrying out practically these things in practical life. So this goes a step further, and this is the finality of that attachment, commitment and involvement, and that comes to the last stage of belief. We are going to end today's lecture, and you people go through all this, and after this we would review and answer your questions.